Hey guys, hang on with the picks. It is Saturday, early morning. They postponed my surgery until this morning, Saturday morning. So, I guess the one thing that did make me feel a little bit better. Well, that's right. The Pirates, East Carolina, the one-eyed Pirates, gets it done again. Guys, we're on a roll. An absolute roll. And you know that, and I know it. Today, we're going up again. It moved our record to 39, 30, and 2, which we're up to 56.6%. Not where I want to be, but we're definitely moving in the direction where we want to be. We got a really good winning record, and it's going to get better after tonight. And I don't even want to mention the NFL record. We'll mention that tomorrow. Today, if you remember who I gave out last Saturday, I typically don't put out big games. I try to shy away from them. I look for more angles than other games. Last week, we gave out Georgia. The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a line to cover. We got number one Georgia traveling to Mississippi State. This line is sitting at 16. Total opened up at 53.5. It's sitting at 52. Georgia's coming off just another win at home last week against a top-ranked Vols team, which Georgia made them look like a below-average team, holding the number one offense in the country to 289 yards and one touchdown, where they were averaging 250 more yards than what Georgia gave them. Because that's what it looked like in that game that Georgia gave them. You know, Hooker had no touchdowns in that game, one interception. It was just complete dominance. And I loved every second of it. And now they go to Mississippi State and face a Mississippi State team that ranks number 2 in the SEC in passing at 325 yards a game with Will Rogers. They beat Auburn last week 39-33 in overtime. And if you go back and look, it's kind of a theme for Mississippi State. It seems like they come out and they play pretty strong, and then they kind of like just fizzle out. And I don't know why, because they came out in the second half against Auburn, and they must have not got the memo. It must not have been on their itinerary that they had to play 60 minutes of football instead of 30, because they were completely dominating that game in the first half, and they just came out and they looked like they kind of looked like me in the hospital. They were limping around. They didn't look real good, and somehow they went in overtime 39-33 against a not good Auburn team in the first place. What we do know, and this is 100%, this is like the rain and wind on Thursday night in the Carolina game. What we do know, Mississippi State has 0 running game. None. And they're a fast-paced tempo team, which is a double-edged sword. And I think in this game, it's not going to be a double edge. It's just going to be a sword with an edge that's going to be pointing straight at them the whole game. They are completely one-dimensional. As one-dimensional as they can be. I think they average 80 yards on the ground. And those 80 yards on the ground came against teams that they were supposed to get 80 yards on the ground against. Let's put it like that. Because I tell you what, they've already played the other 3 best defenses in the SEC. And those teams were LSU, Kentucky, and Alabama. Mississippi State lost to all three of them. Now, in the LSU game, and Rogers averages 325 yards passing a game against less talent. Because in the LSU game, he was able to muster 214 yards passing, and they were able to put up 16 points. Then they played Kentucky, and he was able to put up 203 yards, and they were able to put up 17 points. And then they played Alabama, and he was able to put together 231 yards, and they scored 6 points. Who's he getting these 325 yards a game against? Yeah, you know who. Kennesaw State, Lamar, and I'm just throwing names. I don't even know if they played them teams, but not good defenses, period. Not good defenses. I just realized I got this damn thing still on, huh? So, here comes Georgia. Number 3 ranked offense in the country. 5th ranked defense in the country. They give up 260 total yards a game. And trust me, Kirby got this team absolutely laser focused. There is no letdown spot. There is no look ahead spot. I still think they got a chip on their shoulder, being that they were number 3 last week, and they claimed that Tennessee was the number 1 team in the country, and they came into their house. I still think they are carrying a chip on their shoulder. And I'm pretty sure I know who they're going to take a little bit out on tonight. Here's the key to Georgia, too. Here is the key. Georgia, and watch the game. Georgia just keeps on running in fresh legs the whole game long. So as the other team is getting weaker and the stamina's going down, Georgia stays at that 100% at all. I mean, they're just funneling guys in and out, in and out, in and out the whole game. And it's not like the talent drops off when they're doing that. It's not. It's 5-star after 5-star after 5-star after 5-star. It's one of the keys. It's a big key why Georgia is who they are and how that program is so successful every single year. And the other part is they don't take their foot off the gas. They don't take things for granted. They know they have 60 minutes of football to play, and they're there to play 60 minutes of football. That's what Georgia does. Georgia causes a lot of turnovers, putting a lot of quarterbacks in uncomfortable spots. I don't care if it's on the road at home. And none of that is going to change tonight at all. Mississippi State does not have a bad offensive line. They don't. They don't. The 3 other best defensive teams in the SEC, I'm pretty sure Rodgers has been sacked 20 times on the year, but he was sacked 9 times by those 3 teams. The offensive line is good. It is. But it can't stack up against a Georgia defensive line. Not even close. Not even close. How about this one? Georgia has outscored their opponents 80-9 in the first half the last 3 games. What? 80-9 in the first half the last 3 games. And I had to put this one in. This is a good one. The most points that have been scored on Georgia this year, I'm going to give you 3 seconds. I want you to guess. All right, I gave you 5 seconds. Kent State, 22 points. Put that in your head. Think about that. Kent State was the team that put up the most points against Georgia, which was 22. Think about it. This is like when you go to the sock drawer and you find a Nike sock mixed in with an Under Armour sock. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. This is just another mismatch. It's a mismatch on paper, and it's even a more mismatch on the field. It's a mismatch. And I really like this spot. I'm going to tell you why. If we were home, this line would probably be somewhere, they say 5 points for home field advantage, but a number one overall team with their statistics, this line would probably go from somewhere like 16, probably somewhere close to around 24. Being on the road and only giving 16, absolutely love this spot. This is another gift. I think this is another spot that we could take advantage of in a big way. We just have too much talent at every position on both sides of the ball here. I see Georgia just coming out with a flurry in the first quarter, like they typically do, and them just adding to it every quarter after, and just adding to it. And before you know it, it's halftime or third quarter, and they look up and it's 35-6. Or it's 38-7. And Georgia's still just walking up and down the field with the running backs. Guys, I do know one thing. We have a decent amount of house money on our side right now. I want you guys to take advantage of this game in a nice way today. In a nice way. See how I feel tomorrow after I get out of surgery and what time I get out of surgery. But I may drop another college game over on TikTok. Maybe a 3:30 game if I'm up to it. If not, here's a winner. Feast. You make your own paycheck on this one, okay? Guys, I love the comments. I love the support. Thank you, guys. I appreciate all the kind words that you guys said. And I feel them when you say them. And I really appreciate you guys. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you guys. I wouldn't. And we all know it's a little bit fun. It's much funner when we're putting other people's money in our pockets. So, yeah, thank you. Let's get the thumbs up to at least 50. Can we do that? I mean, if we got 100, I don't even like 150 views. Hell, I was hitting over 1,000 views last year if you go back and look at the content. I can settle with 150. Oh, okay, but if you're watching the video and if you've made money anytime this week, don't leave the page without hitting a thumbs up, and at least drop a comment. Say something. I don't care what it is. Say anything. Thank you, guys. Thank you. You already know what I'm going to do until I get back to you. We're going to get back to getting this cash.